Welcome back to Fab Automotive Detailing. You guys, this is going to be Wash and Talk episode 2, but I did something a little bit different this time. I posted on my YouTube channel that I was going to be making a Wash and Talk, and I asked you guys to submit some questions, stuff that I can actually talk about during the video because, you know, I kind of rambled on in the last video. I'll probably ramble on in this video also, but I've got several questions from you guys. I got about 4 pages worth, so this should be pretty interesting. So we're going to be washing my wife's 2011 GMC Yukon. It is actually pretty clean, other than we got some rain. There's some water going down the side, some water spots. There's some stuff on the floorboards. Other than that, and I think the back, yeah, the back's got some kick up on it, but not too terrible. Perfect for doing a rinseless wash, which is what we're going to do in this video. So let's go ahead and get this video going. I'm going to show you what we're going to use in this video. This is a new rinseless wash that I'm testing for a company. Can't tell you what it is or what company it is, but it's 1/2 ounce per gallon, 256 to 1. We're going to be using my Ryobi sprayer. I think I'm the very first one to put a video out on this type of sprayer to use for rinseless washing or washing your car at all. Now this is their 18 volt, not their 4 volt. A lot of the most popular one right now going on is the 4 volt, but this is the 18 volt. It's got good power. It gives you a good fan, which is great. The towels I'm going to use to dry. So these were sent to me months and months and months and months, probably maybe even a year ago, back when I made a video on their polisher. The Platinum from Walmart sells these, Platinum series. They sent me a lot of different towels. In this video, we're going to be using these. I've been using these for a while. These are a twisted loop style towel. Hopefully it is in there, that it didn't go blurry on you guys. And this one says Terry, but it's definitely a microfiber twisted loop. As you guys can see, this is going to be a 2-pack. I have not used these. I want to use these. These say these are drying towels. That's one of the reasons I wanted to use them for this video. Oh, of course they did. And then for the tires, I'll go ahead and show you guys. We're going to be using Griot's Garage ceramic tire dressing. One of my favorite dressings. I just don't use it very often, and I think it's the reason why. It sits at the back of my my shelves, and I just forget about it, to be honest with you. And they put these little plastic outs holding these towels together. So when you do that, you got to make sure you don't have any of this left over, like a tag on like on a shirt or something. Like that right there. Just got to make sure you don't have any of that left in the towel. I wish they wouldn't do something like that. I know they got to find a way to hold it in. I get it. But I don't really care for that. These are, I wonder if it says, 18-inch by 24-inch. Red on one side, gray on the other. Once again, it definitely is a twisted loop type of towel. But yeah, so I thought it'd be really cool to get you guys involved in a video. Let's let you ask me questions where I can actually answer them live, because I don't do live streams anymore like I used to. I used to do live streams all the time. I just don't do them anymore like I used to. It's too hard to find the time is the main thing. So, all right. So we're going to test these out, see what these are like, see if they picked up the water, see if they pick up the water really well. We're going to do, I have 3 gallons of water in here. Actually, I'm sorry. I have 3.5 gallons of water. So we're going to be doing 2 ounces just to be safe. Now on this, mango scent, also can be used 2 ounces per gallon for a clay lube. But this is just version 1, so I'm doing a test for them. So we're going to put 2 ounces into the bucket. I forgot to grab my sponge. I'll have to go grab my sponge here in a minute. But that's okay. Let me go grab my sponge really quick. So the reason I want to have my sponge here for this, that mango smells really good, is I want to get my sponge in. I want to squeeze it to draw all the water into the sponge so it can soak. But I kind of want to get that rinseless wash all the way around. Get it diluted properly, because get all this water out of here if I can. And this is clean down here, because we need to get some rinseless wash in here. This is going to be using for pre-soaking. This is the best way to do it because you know you have a good dilution ratio. Wow, that smells amazing once it was in the water. I wasn't a big fan of the mango when I first opened it, I don't know. I wasn't a big fan. April, my wife, she loved it. Oh, that smells so good. This has a quick disconnect. I could have taken that off, but we're not going to. So now we are ready to get going in the car. And just like before, we're going to start on the hood. So let me take you guys around really quick and show you, just so you know. You can see the dirt on the chrome there. Not bad. A little bit of where water went up the hood there. Like I said, it's not terrible. This is what I like to do rinseless washing with. I could probably use a detail spray, but it wouldn't make the video as fun. Definitely kick up from the tires. So this is perfect for rinseless washing. So I know I said in my last video I was gonna kind of relax on videos, which I'm going to do, but these wash and talks are super simple. Turn the camera on, talk to the camera, put on your computer, cut the beginning, cut the end, where you turn the camera on and off, put them together, put it on YouTube. It's super simple. It takes me like 30 minutes to edit the video. So makes it super simple for me to do. But let's go ahead and get right into this video. I will be using, once again, Bare Arms. This is my detail spray with SO2 in it. This car is ceramic coated with my Fab Freedom coating, the coating kit actually. 30 ml bottle does this whole car, no problem at all. And then it comes with a small bottle of Bare Arms also. And just remember that for later in the video, because there is a question about that in the video. Okay, so first question. This is from Matt Adams-Z2P. When using a paint gauge, what is the minimum amount of mils or microns need to be left to polish a car? At what level of thickness do you tell a customer I cannot do it? Might burn through the clear coat. So Matt, I really appreciate the question. Like I appreciate everybody that left questions for me. Gotta get this thing. There we go. I love this. This thing is so cool. I really appreciate the question. So I measure in mils. I don't measure in microns. It's really just a preference. I know a lot of people that only measure in microns. I know people that only measure in mils, and that's me. I like to measure in mils. But no, anything below 4 mils, I tell the customer, hey, I'm not comfortable polishing or compounding really. I'll tell them, hey, I can do a light polish if it's like 4 mils. But I will not compound a car that is that thin just to keep myself safe. Now, I have had customers say, well, I still want you to do it. And I make them sign a waiver, sign a piece of paper that says that the coating or the paint is too thin. And the customer knows that it's too thin and that damage could be done to the clear coat by me compounding. But I have done it because they said, hey, I still want you to do it regardless. So yeah, 4 mils is my minimum. I actually did this car has sap on it from sitting outside. I actually have done a car that was 2.5 mils. And what had happened was something happened to his car when it was at a dealership and it got scratched really bad. Actually, there's a video on my channel. This actually works really well, soaks up really well, this towel. On my channel, F150 scratch removal down the door, and same thing, made him sign it because he said, hey, I was going to go and get it painted anyways, which it cost me a lot more than just have you at least try. He said, if you burn through, you burn through. I'll just go get it painted. You know, had him sign a piece of paper stating that, and he was very happy with the results, and he never went and got it painted. He kept it a couple more years, and then he ended up selling it. So that was the minimum I've ever done as far as thickness that I've ever actually compounded a car, because I was not comfortable, because I actually wet sanded it lightly to try to get rid of the scratch. But wow, you guys, that worked really well. I mean, it picked up the water, absolutely no problem at all. Now remember, this thing is ceramic coating. Rinseless washing is a lot easier, drying is a lot easier when it's ceramic coating. But that did a very, very good job there. Actually, this isn't a question. This is from Jim Flanagan. He said, Harley is getting so big. She's not out here today. And the reason why, hopefully you guys can hear me, is across the street from me. Well, I don't have a lot of neighbors, but kind of catty-cornered. They're putting a pool in, and there's tons of construction work going on. And I had her out here earlier, and all she was doing is barking because she heard, you know, buckets slamming down and all this stuff. So I couldn't have her out here during this wash and talk, unfortunately. So the next question would be from Malachi 2371. You may want to express your experiences with paintless dent repair and body shops and why you wouldn't do that line of work versus turning wrenches. So I have no experience at all in paintless dent removal. I've never done body work, but I know people that have, and they say, man, be glad you did not get into this type of work. And I don't know. I mean, it's really hard on your body, but I'll tell you what, being a mechanic is pretty hard on your body too. But they say that body work is probably the hardest job in the automotive field, especially on your body. So, but I have no experience in that area at all. All right, let's go to the next question now that my hand's wet. Have you had any time with DIY's cord-free polishers that just got released? And that is from Mike Kaufman. Mike, I went to the DIY event back in, what was that, August? I went out to Omaha, Nebraska. We drove this car. Me and Mrs. Fab went out. And that's when it was still in the production phases, but they had it, and I did use it, and I loved it. I thought it worked really, really well. And I love how balanced it is. That battery in the middle, at first, I was like, this isn't. In fact, I looked at Pan, because we're sitting next to each other, and I'm like, I don't know, man. Just by looking at it before I ever used it, I said, I don't think that's gonna go over very well. You know, I didn't think it'd work very well. But I was proven wrong really quick, because once I put it on a car, so buttery smooth, which is just awesome, obviously. Worked very well. Not terribly loud. I wear headphones when I'm polishing anyway, so it really doesn't matter. But really smooth and has the power of a corded machine. That's the cool part about it. It has the power of a corded machine. Gosh, I love rinseless washing a ceramic coated vehicle. It's just a joy. Super simple. Everything's really, really, sorry, I just burped. Everything's really easy to do. You notice I use bare arms on the window. It's a great drying aid on glass also. It's not really going to be real protective on the glass, but it dries really well. Helps you not get water spots on your glass. I just realized I have my keys for my van on me. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys submitting questions. When I put the post out, I wasn't sure if I'll get any feedback or any questions, because I don't really ever do posts. These towels work really good. Now, they are brand new, first time using them, haven't washed them. I don't know if Siri's talking to me, I don't know why. I don't know if once you wash them, they're going to lint, because it says lint-free drying on the package. I don't see any lint. I don't see it on the window. And that's when you're going to see lint the most, because the window's really grabby. So it'll grab the lint and you'll see it really easy. But gosh, this is so simple. All right, on to the next question. Once again, you guys, I am out of shape. Edward Smith, 7409. This is the one I said to remember this later in the video. I've used your ceramic coating on my bike. I know it can be used on a car, which I've tried to explain to people. Only a few people have actually done that. And the people that have actually done it have just been overwhelmed, just absolutely loved it. What would you recommend using for a ceramic coat on a Hellraisin Color Challenger? I did wash the other day and used bare arms, because he has my bare arms. Looked great, but I want that lasting protection. Great channel, and the products I've purchased have done the job well. Also, what's your opinion on Milwaukee 15mm for buffing? I have the small M12 I use on the Harley. I was just curious if you thought the M18 version was worth it. Okay, so first, Freedom coating is so good on cars too. It's not made just for motorcycles. I mean, it's just paint, right? So motorcycles have paint, cars have paint. The reason I wanted to make it a motorcycle coating, I kind of regret doing that now, but I do, but I don't. So the reason I wanted to make a motorcycle coating was, one, there's not too many on the market. There's only like one other one, I think. Two is it can go on any surface. So the Harley denim paint, because it's hard to find something to put on the Harley denim paint. It works really well on the Harley denim. Any matte paint works great on chrome, glass, plastics. It works on every surface of a motorcycle. But that still transfers over to a car. So I have no problems putting Freedom on a car. I mean, that's what's on this. It works really, really well on cars. And this thing just beads up like crazy. Anytime it rains on it, anytime we wash it. In fact, I can probably show you guys here real quick. Give me just a second. I'll get you off of here. As far as the Milwaukee machines are concerned, I don't own them and I've never used them, so I really can't answer that question at all. Here, I'll show you guys. Oops. I just sprayed this on my... Let's do this so I don't do that again. Let me get you guys off here. I'm not really worried about the water drying. So nice that looks. And I put this on back in July, so not quite a year. It's been about however many months that is, 6, 8 months, probably about 8 months. Holding up great. Have had 0 issues with it. Been very happy with the bare arms. Put a lot of work into that. Or bare arms, listen to me. Freedom coating. Bare arms had a lot of work too, but not as much as the freedom coating. See, the water's just coming right off the paint. You guys gotta look at my bald head. Every time I get a haircut, my wife cuts my hair, she's like, you know, you're losing more and more hair. Yeah, I know. Nothing I can do about that. Mrs. Fab's been cutting my hair. She's not a barber, or stylist, whatever. I don't know what you call that barber. She's been cutting my hair since we started dating. So she's been cutting my hair for 21 years. And that's great. Because I hate going to, you know, great clips or whatever. And haircut's never the same. Mrs. Fab does a really good job at keeping it really close. I mean, she's not a professional by any stretch of imaginations. So there are times we mess up. I say we, but really her. Let me take this one. There's just a little bit of water left over on the glass. Just go in like that, and this whole side of the car is done. Crap, I didn't dry down here. I did, but not very well. These pick up really well too, and these are also Platinum Series. These are a 16 by 16 with a twisted loop on one side and a low nap on the other side. These are good towels. The only ones I didn't like are their plush ones. They linted something fierce. I did not like those at all. They're like just a super plush, what you call a microfiber towel for like detail sprays and stuff like that. No, I don't recommend those. In fact, I think let me see if I'll show you guys. Off topic, once again. There we go. So it's called the Final Finish towels. Actually, they call them Coral Fleece. So these are the Final Finish towels. It comes with 4, 2 grays, 2 reds. Super soft. I was like, oh man, these are gonna be awesome. You know, they lint really, really bad. But let's see what the next question is. This is from Wheel SRT7. Are things more pad dependent now than before, say 3 years ago? I think the compounds, waxes, and coatings have almost reached their full development. Let's see if he continues on. He does not. Are they more pad dependent than 3 years before? I don't think so. I think we have reached a peak as far as what we can make compounds and polishes do. I don't know. That's kind of a hard question to answer. So the best way I can probably answer this is I think they are, now that I think about it, because we can only go so far with compounds and polishes on paint. They haven't really changed a lot over the years, other than some companies use different types of abrasives. Some roll, some are sub-micron abrasives. But if you change the pad, you can make the polish or compound work better or not work as aggressive. So I guess they are more pad dependent because we've kind of reached our limit for the most part. Because think about it. Think about compounds and polishes that have come out in the market. What's new? I don't know. They're still just regular compounds and polishes, other than they don't dust. That's the biggest thing. But changing the pad will change your compound and polish. So yeah, actually I would say that probably does. They probably are more pad dependent now than they were before. So I'm not going to answer any questions on the back because the back doesn't take very long. But I'm glad that you guys like this type of video. I had so many people say, man, this is your best video you've ever made, which was mind-blowing to me because of all the videos that I've made that I've thought were so good. Of course, anything you make, you think is good, right? You don't understand why people don't watch. But gosh, there's so much dirt back here. This makes the job so easy. I've almost used half of this though. I can do my entire RAM with this, but this thing's long, big windows, the whole top, everything. It won't last that long. But I'm glad you guys like this type of video because this is easy for me to make. If you have any questions before I make another one, pay attention to my YouTube channel, and I'll put another post out where you can ask me anything. The only stipulation, I will not answer anything that's really personal. Now, if you want to ask me about, because I played sports in high school and all that stuff, or my career prior to being a mechanic, prior to really getting into detailing heavily, you know, that stuff's fine. But if people start asking about my family and stuff, I'm not going to answer those questions. Anything personal, anything disrespectful or controversial, because I had some comments on the video that were bad towards other YouTubers, and I deleted the comment and I blocked the account because that's not what I'm about. By the way, somebody asked me what I was using this bucket. This is the scrub wall from Dirt Lock, and I have the Dirt Lock filter in the bottom, and then the clear bucket is from, I think it's called Webstaurant.com. It's a restaurant supplies company. Ivan from DIY actually told me about it. That's how I got it. I went and bought it once I asked him where he got his from. I like being able to see all the dirt that's in it, especially after doing a rinseless wash. But yeah, I appreciate you guys, all the comments I got, all the positive comments. Those are the comments that make all this worth it to me. I mean, I don't know about anybody else that is a YouTuber, but comments make all the videos worth it or not worth it. So last week's video, I was very, very happy with. I enjoyed interacting with everybody that was commenting. That's the fun part of YouTube. That's the fun part. Because once again, I do not make my living off of YouTube. If I did, I'd be eating crumbs. I make my living, thank goodness my wife's got a good job. I make my living through the detailing supplies business, where I go around and I sell detailing supplies like dealerships, body shops, detail shops. I have more dealerships than anything else anymore. So I don't make my living doing this at all. Any money I make off YouTube is just some have fun money. A lot of times I buy parts for the Harley. I got another bike over there. You guys may have seen it in the video, I'm not sure. It's a 1999 Honda Shadow VT 1100 Ace Tour. I know it's a really long name. That is the bike that Harley Davidson actually sued Honda over because of their crankshaft. But it looks so bad on Harley Davidson's part that they dropped the lawsuit. It looks like a Harley, does not sound like, because I have a Harley, does not sound like my Harley, but it looks a lot like it. It looks like a Road King, actually. Cool bike. But the reason that I wanted it, I'll show you guys it. I just got done paint correcting, and I coated it with the Fab Freedom coating. I'll show you guys really quick. The reason I wanted that bike is because it's liquid cooled. My Ultra Classic over here, in the summertime, if I just ride into town, pick something up, come back home, and get stuck in traffic, it will burn your thighs right off. Like you're cooking. Being liquid cooled, that bike runs a lot cooler. The other reason is my very first bike was a Honda Shadow. It was a 1998 Honda Shadow VLX 600, just a 600cc. This one's 1100cc. My Harley's 1600cc. That 1100 Honda will freaking kill the Harley going down the road as far as power is concerned, because the Harley's so heavy. If you've never been on my channel, I can't show it to you because it's covered. And I got my hose out because my garage floods, and we got some nasty storms coming, but I do have a drain that I put the hose in, and that way, that's from Harbor Freight, just pumps it up, the water, so it doesn't flood. But here is this bike. You see it's got the hard bags. It's got the dual exhaust. This paint was trashed when I got it. This was swirled up. I did not make a video on this. I got it about 95%, maybe 96%. I added these because it had silver ones that matched the paint, and they were kind of heated up and starting to peel. So I bought those off Amazon, actually. It's not perfect condition. I'm doing some stuff to it. I had to, I'll show you guys. I had to take this side of the engine apart because the neutral light was not working, which is up here. I had to take this side of the engine apart, take the stator out to get to my neutral safety switch. So now I have a neutral light. But yeah, this thing, the paint's killer. It's got some problems because I'm not, that's a 1999. Previous owner used some touch-up paint that did not match. You know, that type of stuff. It's got scratches on the bags that nothing I could do with. Like right there. On there. But yeah, this is a really cool bike, you guys. All right, before we read the next question, Capture Pepsi. This one's kind of a long one, and I did highlight the bottom because I think it's very important. Question is from Mimnock, 1974. Do you think the detailing product market is getting saturated by more players in addition to the established brands? Yes. And why do you think that's the case? I think it's the case because it's easier to get into now, all because of social media and companies reaching out to YouTubers. I mean, I'm just as much to blame as anybody else, but I didn't launch a major brand or anything like that, just some products with my name on it. And it's a lot easier when you know people to get started. He said, what is stopping me, talking about him, from going to a blend house and launching my own product line, assuming I have $1 million to get started? That's the issue. A lot of these blenders want you to buy 55-gallon quantities. I know the right people where I don't have to do that. But if you don't know the right people, you're going to have a very large minimum order for your very first order. His next question is, do you think innovation on detailing products has hit its limit? Kind of talked about that earlier. For the most part, yes. Something else will come out, but I don't know when. I mean, I remember, he says, I remember ceramic being the flavor of the month. Graphene was next. Then ceramic infused glass cleaners and body panel drying aids took off. And I just do not see it anymore. All brands are following each other and simply doing nothing but fine-tuning their products. And I agree 100% with that. Nobody's coming out with anything new, not mind-blowingly new. Like my ceramic coating, I mean, it's going to compare to all the other ceramic coatings in the market, but it's not better than theirs. It's right there with them. It's just really good on motorcycles. I am personally not excited for what's in the market right now versus 4 to 5 years ago. I am with you on that. And what I highlight is the very bottom, and his name is Alex. Thank you, Alex, for the question. He said, right now, I am just looking for the performance and experience of the product and at the right price point where brand loyalty is a distant last place. I am very, I love that question. I am very much to blame on that front for me personally, because for the longest time, I was loyal to certain brands, especially like Grio's Garage. Now, don't get me wrong, I still use Grio's Garage. I'm using it in this video for their tire shine. Their tire shine is fantastic. But that's before I started my YouTube channel. And if I wouldn't have started my YouTube channel, I'd probably still be using only Grio's Garage products. But when I started my YouTube channel, starting to run low. When I started my YouTube channel, companies started reaching out to me. So I started using different products. And I was like, oh man, you know, this works really good. Or, hey, I like this better from Grio's. I am no longer brand loyal. I have many brands on my shelf. Somebody commented on my last wash and talk, and this stuff is super slick. Now, the car's coated. I need to use this rinseless wash on something that's not coated. That said, I see you become a DIY detail fanboy. I like DIY detail products. It doesn't make me a fanboy. That's just if you make a comment like that, why make the comment? I hate negativity. I absolutely despise negativity from people. Just because I use their products in a video doesn't mean that I am a fanboy. It just means that I like using their products. They have what I would consider the best rinseless wash in the market right now. This thing right here is rivaling it because this is leaving nothing behind. And right now it's slick, but once again, it's on a ceramic coated vehicle. So I need to use it on a non-coated vehicle to know 100%. But this is how I do my testing. I don't even know where I was at now. I lost track of what I was saying. Oh, about brand loyalty. I think it's a really good idea to broaden your horizons. Don't stick to a certain brand. You know, if brand A has the same product as brand B and C, brand A's cheaper and it works just as good as B and C, why buy B and C? You're saving yourself some money. It's doing exactly what you want it to do. When people do product reviews, like myself, take it with a grain of salt. And I say that because we all have different opinions of detailing products. We all have different experiences with detailing products. I've said it many times in my videos. I have used products that I absolutely loved and people that made reviews hated. I've used products that people raved about and I used it and I didn't like it. So we all have different opinions. We all have different water, depending on where you're from, different weather. Water is a huge thing, especially when it comes to doing a soap review, a foam cannon review, because my water here at my house is extremely hard water and I do not get the foam that other people do that live in different parts of the United States and have better water, or they have a DI system or something along those lines that can make their foam a lot better. So when I make a video, just for instance, my most recent video I showed a foam cannon in was the Clean by Panty Organizer, his shampoo. That stuff foamed absolutely amazing. And if it does that with my water, it should do it with anybody's water. The foam cannon has a lot to do with it too, but the water is that is the main thing of foam. You can buy the best foam can on the market, whatever you believe is the best foam can on the market, and still get crappy foam if you have really, really bad water. So, wow, that went off the rails, didn't it? Had nothing to do with that question. But I really appreciate the question, Alex, and I love the part about brand loyalty at the very end. I thought that was fantastic. The next question is from Todd Hill. I know Todd Hill. He lives pretty close to me. We actually just met the other day in a parking lot while I was working, and he gave me his old Ryobi polisher, the battery operated, because it stopped working. He said, hey, maybe you can make a video, or maybe you can at least figure out why it's not working and make a video and help people out. Super nice guy. This is I think it's the third or fourth time that I had met him. Really nice guy, Todd. I really appreciate you. His question is, the traditional wisdom has been to cut with a rotary and finish with a DA, or just only use a DA. Lately, Ivan, and by the way, Ivan is with a Y, and some others on social media seem to be bringing the rotary back. For those that haven't seen your video with some of the other creators talking about when we went to Omaha, can you talk about your experience and thoughts on a rotary DA? Thanks in advance. Yeah, so I was not a believer in finishing with a rotary at all. I'm trying not to scratch. I don't have a lot of room in my garage. My garage is huge, but I've got so much crap in here, I don't have much room anymore. So I do have the DIY detail rotary, which is right here. And I only use it for finishing. And my gosh, does it finish really well. Way better than my DA has ever finished for me. I think it just absolutely works fantastic. Now, cutting wise, I've never tried to cut with, well, I have on like a test panel, but I've really never tried to cut with a rotary on a car that I'm actually detailing. Oh man, starting to run out. No, I'm not. Why is it not picking it up? I've never done on an actual car that I'm detailing and trying to cut for somebody to make it look as good as possible. I was taught, self-taught. I learned on a DA how to cut. You have people, I'm a part of a lot of Facebook groups. There's a lot of people that will just absolutely bash you if you cut with a DA and finish with a rotary, or if you don't use a rotary at all. And like, here's my thing. If you get the results you want, if you're just doing it yourself, DIY, doesn't matter what you use. Use whatever you like that gets the results that you want, because we're not on a time constraint. And when as a DIYer, I'm not on a time constraint. I can cut a car, go inside, sit down, enjoy a cherry Pepsi, get a little snack, and then come back out and hit it with the rotary. I am not in any hurry at all when I'm doing it myself. Rotaries, they say, do cut faster. I don't know if that's true. I'm pretty sure Ivan told me it's not true. There's just so many haters out there, especially people that don't like people like Ivan. I love people like Ivan. He helps people no matter what. He doesn't make you feel dumb when you ask a question. I think he's absolutely great. But you got people out there that just don't like him because they just don't like him. And so they'll bash him all the time, no matter what he's talking about. Well, I was, like I said, big skeptic of using the rotary. So when When Ivan messaged me and said, hey, we'd like to have you out at our facility. We're having a couple other YouTubers come out. We're just going to hang out for the weekend, test some products, make some videos, and just have fun and hang out. The first question I asked him, and if you watch this video, he'll tell you, the very first question I asked him was like, okay, but can you teach me how to use the rotary? Because I have a rotary. It's a cheap Harbor Freight rotary. And all I ever do when I use it is I just wear the polish and compound. It just sprays all over me. I can't keep it straight. I'm out here in my garage with a test panel trying to cut with the DA, and I'm just absolutely making a mess, right? So I get there, and I'm gonna grab my rotary really quick so I can show you. In case you've never seen that video, I do have a video on Ivan teaching me how to use the rotary. Same with Mike with Carter's Key was also part of that too. So I'm gonna try to put this over here. So traditionally on a DA, you know, you're holding it like this on a DA, right? And you're standing over it and you're watching what you're doing. Now, Ivan, I'm not like this, I'm not like this. You're watching what you're doing, you're holding it like this. So he told me, hold the rotary like this. I was like, what? That doesn't make sense. He said, just try it. So we got it, put it on the hood of a Jeep, I think it was. It was like a maroon color. Turned it on. He said, all you ever need is speed 1, especially if you're finishing. Speed 1, and just hold like this. Is it amazing? I mean, it is so smooth. It's not even funny. Because, you know, DAs, you kind of get used to shaking your hands. You get used to that, and it's just part of it, right? This, there's no shake. You can hold it like this. This is how I hold it. I don't actually hold it. I don't hold it like this. I kind of just hold it like this. And I basically guide the machine. If it starts to go one direction, that means I'm tilting towards that direction. So if I'm tilting to the left, the machine's going to want to go left. If I tilt it to the right, the machine's going to go right. If I tilt it to the front, it's going to try to pull away from me. If I'm tilting too much to the back, it's going to try to come towards me. So if I leave it flat and it just stays where it's at and I just guide it, that is money. I'm telling you, I made this Camaro, a yellow Camaro. It's on my Instagram page. Gosh, I don't have any room in here. That was super jacked. And I cut it with my DA. I use Gold Standard. Here again, I'm gonna get the same comment from the same guy. You're a fanboy. I use Gold Standard, love it. I got my pad washer, so I'm constantly washing it, right? Not this, my pad washer's over there. And I'm using a wool pad to cut it. And it cut with a DA. I mean, it was just, like a knife through butter. It cut those imperfections out of that GM Camaro paint, the 2010. And then I went over it with the rotary, with the Julian pad from DIY, with the Gold Standard polish. And that thing, I wish I had a gloss meter because it had more gloss than I've probably ever made in any car that I've ever done. So yeah, rotary to finish is the way that I finish from now on. From my experience, rotary to finish, DA to cut. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Don't listen to the haters, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube, that say that they don't know what he doesn't know what he's talking about. It's the way to go. And I think it's safer, in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. Okay, so we have one more question. And it's a good thing because all we have left is the front. So let me get you guys set up so you guys can see the front, and we'll do this last question. So I just realized that I missed a question. Malachi 2371 actually asked 2 different questions. So his second question was, I believe you're a big fan of Pure Shine by Turtle Wax, which is right here. This stuff is killer, as I am. By reading its ingredients, I don't read ingredients. I don't read SDS sheets because I'm not a chemist and I have no idea how to read an SDS sheet. My dad, I've talked to my dad about this in the past because my dad was a chemist for Dow Chemical, biggest chemical company in the world. He was a chemist for them forever, like 40 years. And we were talking about SDS sheets one day because I've seen other YouTubers talk about SDS sheets that have no chemical background, have no idea how to read an SDS sheet. And he told me, he said, if somebody does not know how to read an SDS sheet, they don't listen to them because they have no idea what they're talking about. Everything that's in a product is not on SDS sheet. Just only harmful stuff is in there. So he's talking about that one day. So anyways, I don't read SDS sheets, but he said, can you provide an opinion on whether it would work well as a drying aid? I don't think it would, but I've never tried it. The reason I say I don't think it would, you want your drying aid to be thin, almost watery, at least me. That's me personally. I like a thin drying aid. This stuff is thick, and I think it would kind of smear with your drying towel as you're trying to dry. It might work as a drying aid. And if you want to test it, next time you wash your car, go back to an inconspicuous spot. That's what I do when I test products. you know, the left rear lower part of the bumper, just for instance. Spray this on it while it's wet. Use your drying towel and just see what kind of result you get. Is it smearing? Is it easy to get off? Do you use it take a lot of elbow grease to get it off? That's what I do when I test products. But you guys, if you've never tried Pure Shine as like a quick detail spray, and it has SO2 in it, so it has protection. If you've never tried this as a quick detail spray, go to Walmart, get it on Amazon, go to Turtlewax website, whatever, buy you a bottle. You will not, I promise you. I just said earlier, don't trust YouTubers what they say, because take it with a grain of salt, because we all have different opinions. But all the people I've recommended this to, nobody's ever said anything bad about it. They say, oh my gosh, that stuff is amazing. It is so good. This is probably Turtlewax's best product that they sell as of right now. Okay, so we're down to one last question, but we still have to do the wheels. I'm not going to worry about doing tires because they're actually pretty clean. The wheels aren't terrible. I'll probably use a detail spray, and that's about it. But this one is from Lori X23. What are your best and worst detailing stories? I might just split these up. Maybe we'll do this first question on here. What are your best and worst detailing stories, like a super dirty car or really memorable customer? So let's start with the worst car. So I do not detail full time. I detail pretty much in the summertime from basically March to November. I detail every weekend. Now I haven't been doing that as much here the last couple of years just because I've been burnt out. But pretty much every weekend. And I've done that forever, for as long as I can remember. I've worked 7 days a week. So I don't see what a lot of actual detailers see, because they do it every single day. They may do 4 or 5 cars a day, whatever. I've never seen that. But the worst car that I've done, I have a video on my YouTube channel. It was a Jeep Wrangler. Gosh, this stuff is really good. It is a Jeep Wrangler. And the guy said, man, it has this terrible smell. It's like a woman. I hate these grills. It's like a woman's perfume. They bought it off an older lady. It's a Jeep Wrangler. And he said, but it's full of pet hair. And I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. I've never seen a Jeep Wrangler that doesn't have pet hair in it, by the way. And you can go to any of my dealerships that I go to, and they'll tell you the same thing. If it's a Jeep Wrangler, it's got pet hair in it. So I get it here, drops it off, and I get in and I'm like, oh gosh, this smells really bad. And if you know anything about Jeep Wranglers, they don't have like real carpet. It's I don't even know what you call it. It's really thin. So I start looking around, see all the pet hair. So I'm like, okay, let's get the pet hair out, and I'm gonna bomb it. So I bombed it, and I used one of those Turtlewax, actually. One of their bombs you put in there, and you turn the air conditioner on, and you let it go. And it didn't do it. And I was like, oh gosh, man, this car is really bad, because I cleaned it out. So I was like, okay, my next step is to use my extractor and extract the seats. So I extracted the front seats. Everything looked good, no problem at all. Got to the back seat, which you'll see in my video if you watch it. Got to the back seat, started extracting it, and it was pulling up urine. And I'm not talking about a little bit of urine. I'm talking about a lot of bit of urine. It was so gross. It actually pretty much ruined that machine, because it was a cheapie anyways. Because it always smelled like urine after that, no matter what I did. I tried cleaning it, and it always smelled like urine. That was bad. I mean, that was urine. I don't like. So I have a very, very, very weak stomach. Been that way my whole life. Like when my kids were babies, if they would puke or anything like that, it'd make me puke. I got that from my dad. My dad's that way. So that type of job like there was just absolutely gross. Their job. So I have 2 memorable ones. So I had that 1952 Chevy Gasser that I did for the World of Wheels for a guy. Cool car. That car is what ended up allowing me to buy the business that I own now. Because, and he didn't tell me this when I went out and detailed his car either, which is really weird. He had a friend that owned a detailing supplies business and went around dealerships and stuff. And he passed away, and he called me one day and said, hey, are you interested in a detailing supplies business? I'm like, well, I never even heard about this before. I didn't know anything about this. So that's how I ended up buying this business, because of his 52 Chevy Gasser. Cool car. That's probably worth, not a lot. I mean, it's a lot of money to me, but probably $150,000, probably what that car was worth. But I would say the most memorable, I did detail for a young lady that needed to sell her car. She didn't have a lot of money, and the car was not in very good shape. It was a Honda Pilot. It was in really bad shape, and out of the goodness of my heart, I normally don't do this. I basically dropped my price way down to help her out, so that she could sell the car. And she knew she wasn't going to get a lot of money for it. So I detailed it for her. This is before my YouTube. I detailed it for her inside, outside. I compound polished it, extracted. I did everything. And I think I only charged her like maybe $300, I think is what it was, which is crazy if you think about it. So I did the detail for her. She was very grateful. She was blown away when she picked it up. She put it out for sale because, like I said, she needed to sell the car. She needed the money, and she ended up selling it for like $4,000 more than what she thought she could get out of it after I got done doing it. Because I told her, I said, price it high. This thing looks amazing. Price it high. See what happens. She priced it really high. She got like $4,000 more than what she thought she would, and I didn't know she sold it. And I get a phone call one day, and she's like, "Hey, can I come over to your house really quick? I want to show you something." And she came over, and she handed me $500. She didn't have to do that. I'd have never known she sold it, never known what she sold it for. So that right there was a very cool situation in that detail. Just trying to help somebody out, and it turned around and benefited me, I guess is the best way you could say. I wouldn't have expected it to. I didn't expect her to bring me money or anything like that, but that was pretty cool right there. All right, so like I say in all my videos, we're down to the nitty gritty. Let's see. Hers was a 3-part question. This one right here, when I read this question, I still really don't know how to answer it. I'll do my best. But her second question was, looking back, what is some general life advice you would give your younger self? And the only advice I could probably give, I mean, there's probably a lot, but the thing that really sticks out in my mind is slow down. Don't be in such a hurry to get through life. It's like, I'm 43. I feel like I was 20 yesterday. It's gone like that. But, for the last 20 years, can't wait to turn this age. I can't wait to turn this age. I can't wait till I can do that, or I'm old enough to do that. And I can't wait until my kids are out of school. Like my oldest daughter, she's already graduated college, but can't wait till she's out of school. So we have more free time. Can't wait till the kids I have now are out of school. It's like you're wishing their life away. So if I just slow down, if I've just slowed down a long time ago and enjoyed family, enjoyed life more, I think I'd be more grateful. I guess is the way I could say it. I'd be more full because I didn't feel like I wished my life and my kids' life to go faster, because life just goes by so fast. So that's probably the one thing I'd tell myself: slow down. It's not a race, The Bible actually says our life is like a vapor, and it's so true. Think about a vapor. So when a vapor happens, let's just say smoke, right? When smoke happens, you see it. It's there, and as it gets higher and higher, it gets less and less, and all of a sudden it's gone. That's like our life. I mean, it is like our life. It is crazy how fast this has gone. So that'd be the one thing I do. I want to read the bottom really quick so I don't forget. She said, "I really enjoyed the other Wash and Talk video where you kind of just went with the flow. So anything you think of will be interesting to hear." I really appreciate that, Lori. And I guess that would be her name is Lori. Third question, and then I'll start cleaning this wheel. What are some of your go-to healthier meals you and your family enjoy making? I saved that one for last because it's funny. I don't do a whole lot of healthy meals. I should, but there is one. So my wife makes, I'm just going to use the rest of this rinseless on this. My wife makes, and I hate these wheels. I like the looks of them, but I just hate the finish. I hate everything about these wheels. My wife makes a chicken and potato. So it's a chicken that she bakes, and she puts some type of seasoning on it. I don't know, you guys. I don't know if you would never want me to cook for you. I can burn toast in a toaster. But she makes it with this chicken that she seasons. It's so good. And she bakes it. But she bakes it with these red potatoes that are covered in cheese and bacon. It is to die for. And that's a very, very healthy meal. It is so, so good. What the heck was that? Something just made noise over there. It's so, so good. So whenever she's like, hey, what do you guys want for dinner? And I'm like, I want that meal, because that's a really good, healthy meal. Because I like noodles. I like spaghetti. My wife makes a really good beef and noodles. She makes a really good lasagna. And I've told her this a million times, so she'll be mad if I told you guys. It looks like she has gone over a curb. You know, we've been married 20 years. We just celebrated our 20th wedding anniversary, January 31st, because we got married in the middle of winter. Dumb thing to do, but we did. So we went to the Smoky Mountains, and we'd had a great weekend. Me and my wife, 4-day weekend together by ourselves, no kids. It was really good. But when we started dating, man, she couldn't cook, man. Spaghetti would be pasty, nasty. I mean, just not good. I wouldn't want to eat it. And as the years went on, and you got married, years went on. If I'd have wanted to marry her for cooking, I never got married. But as the years went on, I didn't put any protection on these wheels, so I'm sitting here talking. Oh well. As the year, because these are ceramic coating with my Fab Freedom coating, so they wash that I took it to the touch free. Pretty much clean. These things are really good because it's got a coating on them. But as the years went on, she has really gotten good at cooking. I mean, she makes a killer country fried steak with mashed potatoes, and she makes this white gravy out of something I don't know. She makes something. It's really good. That is an awesome meal. The downside is every time I eat it, I feel awful when I get done. My stomach hurts so bad because I ate too much. So the next time I say I'm not gonna eat that much, and the next time I eat too much, trying to think of, because that's like this is not healthy at all. She makes good pot roast. Trying to think of healthy meals, because like I said, I like noodles. Noodles just aren't, the carbohydrates are not good for you. I do not eat really healthy. That's for sure. She makes a really good, I will tell you, she makes a really good breakfast casserole. That's very healthy. So yeah, that's about it as far as when it comes to food. Just seeing my video where I'm drinking that cherry Pepsi should tell you all you need to know about me when it comes to that type of stuff. But all right, I got to finish the other 3 wheels. Come back, we'll put some tire shine on this. All right, so all the wheels are clean. All we got left is tires. Now, tire dressings, when you don't properly clean your tires, they're not gonna last long. You can't expect them to last as long. But it's gonna look good until you can at least get it decent weather where I can get it outside and actually do a real traditional wash on it, where I can actually clean the barrels of the wheels. And the barrels are really clean though, because they're coated. And clean this and clean my fender wells, all that good stuff. But to get back to what we were talking about earlier, once again, tire dressing, Griot's ceramic tire dressing from Griot's. Another thing I'd probably tell myself, I've been thinking about this ever since I read that question. Another thing I'd probably tell myself is I don't have what's the best way to put this? I don't have a jealous personality, but to not be jealous, I guess is the best way I could say it. When you see other people succeed right off the bat and you work so hard to succeed much longer than them, and you're not nearly as successful at what you do, it bothers me. Thank goodness I got a great wife that is very supportive. And of course she says, well, don't even think about it. Well, it's not that easy to just not think about it. But that'd be the other thing, is to, 1, slow down, and 2, don't worry about what others do. They don't worry about what you do. Don't be jealous. Be yourself. Live your life. I mean, I'm rich, not monetarily. I'm rich because I got an awesome family. Kids that are wonderful, great kids. Kids that hopefully I won't have to worry about when they get older, getting in trouble or getting arrested or anything like that. Kids are really good. And just seeing my family, we got our family photos done about 6 months ago, and looking at those photos just makes you realize how full my life really is, and how happy that I should be. But yeah, jealousy would be the other thing. But I got a question for you guys. So what attracted you to either my channel? How did you find my channel? Or what made you subscribe to my channel? Leave that down in the comment section. I'd love to hear that. I love hearing stuff like that. Whether you were recommended to me from another YouTuber, If it just happened to pop up, you watch my video, you're like, hey, I like this guy, my charming good looks, joke, obviously. Let me know. I'd love to read the comments of how you guys actually found my channel. All right, you guys, that's pretty much going to do it. I appreciate all of your guys' questions. Hopefully I answered them good enough for you guys. Sometimes I get kind of stumped on stuff like that, and I don't really know what to say, but hopefully I did okay as far as the questions are concerned. And I really liked that. I thought that was really cool. I have barely just a little bit of water left. I thought that was very cool to do something like that, to get you guys involved. I love this little Ryobi gun. This thing's worth every single penny. In my opinion, I do need to let it dry out though. Basically, I used a rinseless wash that I'm testing for a company. And then I use Bare Arms. I saw this on my website to dry. I use Grio's Garage as tire dressing for my tire shine. And I did use a crescent applicator. And the reason why, I use the brush just for the DIY. And I use that more than anything. But I wanted to use something different. And I used a crescent when I applied this here. I will put links down in the description of the video where you guys can find my website. Me and my wife own the business. We bought this business 4 years ago. We're the money of the business. Nobody helped us. We have no outside investors, anything like that. We got a loan, bought the company. The loan we paid off, I think in June of this year, which is going to be really nice. But we have no financial backing at all, unlike other websites that you guys go to that you see on YouTube. We're just a very small company, and I package every single order. Mrs. Fab does every now and then, not very often. I'm normally the one. I package every single order, and I overpack. So I want to make sure everything gets to you guys safely without having any leaks, so you guys have a good experience when you open the box. So go check the website out. Put a link in the description of the video where you can find it. You can find Bare Arms there. You can find my ceramic coating like I use on this called Freedom. A lot of different stuff that you guys may enjoy on the website. And if it's not on my website, like Grio's is on my website, I'll put a link in the description. You can find it in my Amazon store, especially like the Ryobi gun. I don't think I put my Amazon store or Home Depot, but I'll put a link to this if I can find it. I'll try to remember to do all that. But I appreciate you guys coming on here and watching the video. I really appreciate that. These wash and talks are really cool. I feel like I'm interacting with you guys more than just comments down in the comment section. This has been a really cool experience. And I really appreciate you guys. This episode 2 of Wash and Talk, and we'll see you guys in the next video.